Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I think you guys are going to have to be in a very cheerful mood to try to digest and accept the news that I'm going to give you today about Palantir. Before I go any further, I do want to say I don't enjoy making videos like this, but I am a grown-ass man, and I am man enough to admit when I made a mistake. Today's mistake is going to be about Palantir. This is not clickbait. I did lie to you. I did make a mistake, and I want to make sure that I correct it before things get any worse or things get out of hand and people quote me for saying something that was not quite true. So yesterday I made a video showing you that Palantir has a little secret, a $600 million secret where we signed up just north of $600 million worth of contracts for September. And it literally said we got over $600 million in September. The problem is, and again, I really do apologize. I didn't do this on purpose, but I lied to you. And we did not sign up over $600 million in September. The truth of the matter is, and again, I apologize in advance, but we're all adults and we all do make mistakes. We're all humans. I'm a human as well. I do so many videos a day dealing with so many things that I could make mistakes and I could miss something. The truth is we did not sign up $600 million worth of contracts in September, specifically for government. We actually signed up over $700 million, $700 million from government contracts in the month of September. On the last day of September, this morning, I wake up at 5:30 a.m., I go do my shit, and all of a sudden, I look at Twitter, and no other than my man, Rachie, puts out another contract that we ended up signing September 30th. Contract takes effect September 30th, and this is nearly $100 million, totaling the amount of contracts that we signed up from government alone in the month of September, north of $700 million. So no, I'm not clickbaiting. Yes, I made a mistake. No, it wasn't intentional. And yes, I'm very happy to be making this video because I rather make this mistake every single month. $720 million signed. Now, it's very important to understand some of these contracts is for just a year, some of these contracts is for several years, and some of these contracts are for over 5 years. Let's read the contract that Rachie found earlier today because this is an absolutely massive $100 million contract. And while I'm reading this, I just want you guys to understand and pay attention that the contracts that Palantir is signing is starting to become bigger. The marketing that Palantir is doing is starting to become abundant. The game playing that Palantir is starting to do, they are upgrading their game to chess and they are no longer playing checkers. I believe somebody had a talk with Dr. Alex Karp, or maybe Dr. Alex Karp had a talk with his team, or maybe he spoke to himself in a mirror, but it's obvious that things are changing for Palantir. Let me read you the contract really fast. As always, I love to give credit where credit is due. I feel like the entire Palantir community is supporting each other. Please go give Rachie a follow at RACCHIKABU. He literally does not miss a thing, and he is a welcomed and pleasant contributor to the Palantir community. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Palantir signed a $99,625,936 blanket purchase agreement with the United States Department of State on September 27 for Enterprise Data Management Platform, and the fulfillment start date was September 30th, 2022. This is why it was not posted earlier. And if you actually click on the contract right here, you're going to see the amount is 99 plus million, nearly $100 million. But it gets better. Earlier today, my man Palantrillion, definitely give him a follow as well at PLT RILION says Palantir Tech receives a contract from the HHS. Awarding agency HHS, starting date September 30th. And although it might be a small contract, it still helps. Obligated amount $952,718. Potential award $4.8 million. And this is coming on the heels of the massive announcements that we got in September with the massive amount of contracts. If you guys are unfamiliar, let me show you what we actually signed up. This is from Darton's Media. Guys, this is a great Palantir contributor. He has a YouTube channel. He has a podcast. I was actually on his podcast, and he has a media outlet. Definitely check him out. I'm going to be reading from his. If you go a little bit lower, it says, note, this is solely within the government, and there is an unknown number of deals being signed with the commercial space for the month. I believe the only thing that we know is a $20 million contract extension or addition by Hyundai when it comes to commercial. 929, contract with the U.S. Army to develop an intelligence application. Contract valued $60 million. 929, contract with the U.S. Army Research Lab for Project Maven. Contract that Google abandoned due to employee protest. Thank you so much, Google. We appreciate you. $229 million, just 1 year. Contract renewal with the Department of Veteran Affairs. Contract value $50 million over 3 years. Contracts with the U.S. Army Research Lab and Development for AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. Contract value $43 million, 1 year. 928, contract with the Department of Health and Human Services for AFC Discovery Program. Contract value $4.76 million. Extension of current contract for 1 year. 928, contract with the National Institute of Health for NIDAP. Contract value $2.5 million for 9 months. 928, contract with the National Institute of Health for additional NCATS support. Contract value $470,000, just 1 month. 928, contract with the National Institute of Health for NCI support. Contract value $8.12 million, just for 1 year. Notice how they keep expanding into different programs within a branch of government or department in government and subsets, sub-branches, and sub-departments within those departments in the government. You understand? They branch out once they start working. Once you go carp, you'll never go dark. Before I go any further, this video is sponsored by Webull. Get your link down below. Get yourself up to 12 free stocks. Right now is a very terrible, difficult time. And free is free. If you're already gonna trade and you do need a platform where you can trade stocks, after hours, options, as well as cryptocurrency, Webull is a fantastic site that you can use. I do have a link down below, so do yourself a favor and click. You get something and I get something. With that said, let me go on to the next contract. 927, contract with the National Institute of Health to support NCATS Secure Science Platform Environment. Contract value $65 million over 3 years. 926, contract with the Department of Homeland Security for case investigation, case management software. Contract value $96 million over 5 years. Remember, this is the rumored contract that Palantir was about to lose, and they ended up coming to Palantir. They were supposed to build their own software and build from inside out instead of outside in, and lo and behold, they come to Palantir. Contract with the Department of Health and Human Services for platform support for the N3C Data Enclave. Contract value $16.9 million over 1 year. 924, contract with the Department of Agriculture for COTS, software engineering support. Contract value $3 million, 3 years. This is a brand new department that they're working in. Again, they're in all facets of government, both military and non-military, just like they can help any commercial business. It doesn't matter what field you're in. When I used to go on the website for Palantir, they used to be in 20 different fields, then 30, then 40, and now it's listed 50 different fields that Palantir is in. Contract with Hyundai Heavy Industries, $25 million for 5 years. That's a commercial. And finally, a contract with the Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service. Contract value $8.27 million for 1 year. Besides for the post that he just mentioned, Really, really good job. There was another contract in between. And of course, today we signed up that massive $100 million contract, bringing the total to around $720 million. Guys, Palantir is an absolute beast. The contracts are getting bigger. The Palantir software is becoming stickier. The war in Ukraine is escalating. The terrible nature of the world and the catastrophe that is about to happen or can happen needs to somehow be averted or smoothed out. And Palantir is in prime position to prosper in this situation. I'm not a doom and gloomer, but Palantir literally was built for these times. A lot of people complained that Palantir was, first of all, not getting commercial. Then they started getting commercial. Government started slowing down. Then everyone said Palantir is done with government, including my friend Cathie Wood. I have a feeling Cathie Wood, now with all these government contracts, is going to say, hey, I'm going to buy more Palantir. Why? She's going to be able to get in at a lower price than when she sold. First of all, she needs to shake up her books. Second of all, take the losses, take the gains, so on and so forth. And she can justify now why she got out and why she came back in. And when Cathie starts buying, she starts buying millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of dollars at a time. And she might actually be a superhero when it comes to Palantir, very similar to what happened with Tesla. She's kind of getting in right before the ramp up. We'll see what's going to happen. But if there is one company that can be a hedge against what's happening, and I don't even know what the hell is happening, recession, depression, catastrophe, the only company that I can possibly think of would be Palantir. I'm not in love with Palantir. I am in love with Palantir, don't get me wrong. But if there was something that I didn't like, I would call them out like I have in the past. However, a lot of my concerns and all of your concerns are starting to be answered by Palantir. They're playing the game, they are marketing, they're getting publicity, they're doing interviews on TV, off TV, on YouTube, social media. More texts are starting to come out, more different kind of government contracts, different facets of government contracts within different departments, both old, both new, both renewed, both extended, so on and so forth. And I have a feeling that this is going to translate to mucho buco big time earnings. Maybe not the next one or the next one, but in 2023, as I said before, I believe that Palantir is going to be an absolute beast. Pay attention to quarter 3 and 4 of 2023 once these contracts start maturing. And I do have a feeling that a lot more government contracts are going to come in. Palantir tried to make a mother effing statement, and I believe that they accomplished their job with the month of September. With that said, I am looking forward to the month of October, and I have a feeling that a lot of European spending is going to come in to Palantir. It will funnel into Palantir because for the last 6 months, Palantir essentially was working for free with Ukraine, waiting for them to sign on the dotted line. They all but said that. And we see that Palantir is in Ukraine. Guys, thank you so much. Please give me the likes, give me the shares, give me the subscribe. The more we push our creators, the more the creators can make content across all different social media, and the more viral we can get, the more meme-ish we can get. Nothing wrong with being called a meme stock, but you actually have the utilities, the footing and foundation and technology behind being a meme stock where you actually kick ass and take names in the process. Meme stocks are not used by the governments at the highest possible levels in charge of our defense, offense, and saving lives through various different industries. Thank you. Have a great day and an even better weekend. Click the link for Webull so that I can get some free stocks. I'm not a financial advisor, purely entertainment education at best.